Hello guys, so welcome to Keo Tutorials. So let's continue with the next part of this tutorial. So let's get started. So as you can see over here, we have started with the texturing part for this truck over here. So let's go again into the material over here. Let's go into the materials section over here, and if you want to give a bit of roughness over here, if you want to add something over here, we can easily add it over here. So let's take a normal bump over here right now, and let's connect this normal bump with the bump map. Let's go into this and let's add some noise into it. Just copy this, go into the noise, make a turbulence and give a noise as 0.5. So once you add a noise, definitely it's going to give you a bit of roughness over here. So now let's continue. Now what we'll be doing over here is let's start the texturing part of this chassis over here. So let's go again into the material editor, and let's take, if you want to unwrap this, you can go with the unwrapping part also, not a problem, but this is only the side is visible, so we'll be just assigning a normal material to it. So let's go into this bitmap, go into that texture over here, and let's just find out a better texture over here. I think this looks good over here, so we can go with this texture. So let's just assign this texture over here and give a UVW map. So after assigning this UVW map over here, still the texture is not properly fit over here, so we can use this height option over here. Excuse me. Now if you like to put some kind of a bump over here, you can add a bump, excuse me, or you can just go into this and again just add a normal bump over here and just connect it with a bump map, and let's just give a noise to it. So let's give a bit of a fractal and let's set it as 0.3 over here. So right click and just end isolate it. And even if you feel that I want to unwrap that, you can go with the unwrapping part, not a problem over here. So if you think of unwrapping it, we can go with the unwrapping part. So if you decide to unwrap it, we can just unwrap it. How we are going to unwrap it is like, let's go into this and just give a unwrap UVW. Let's select the polygons from the top over here. So after that, let's go into this. Let's take a plane over here, Z axis, and quick planar map, open UV editor, as you can see over here. So we can just rotate it. Off this. So just scale it over here and push this out. Again you can go onto this view over here. So whatever area you just want to show it as unwrapped over here, you can just do that. Open UV editor. So we are just going to unwrap this two parts over here, not much. So just uh, push this over here. So just push this out over here. Select this part. So this is not required. So we'll just scale this stuff over here, because that's what is visible over here properly. So just scale it. So let's go again, tools, render UV template, and just save that. Chases and JPG. Chases UVs JPG. So let's again go into this. Let's go into that your truck folder over here. So you got the chases UVs over here. So let's open with Photoshop over here. So now what we'll be doing over here is like, first let's the same thing we'll be utilizing over here. Just unlock this. Let's take a new layer over here and just give a color and give a screen mode over here. Go into file, open, go into that folder. Let's go into this texture. Let's take this texture over here and just drag it over here. Control T, just resize this texture over here, and let's just duplicate this texture over here. Control T, right click and flip it. So once you're done with this and this over here, if you want to add something on top of it, you can go with that. If you feel like you need to add some kind of stuff, this one, if you want to add it, you can go with that. So let's add this also, not a problem. So you have this also. So let's take this texture over here, let's put on top of it, and after adding this, just resize this stuff over here. And it's very important is like, go into this mask over here and reduce its opacity and reduce its flow over here. If you want to do such kind of stuff, that can be done over here. So of this and this layer, so let's go into the file, save as, and again chases texture, just name it as a chases texture and click save over here. So let's get back over here into this. So select this over here, go into the material. So I'll just delete this. So I'll just clear it. Again I'll take a bitmap over here and I'll give a chases texture to it. Much better. So looks good, much better. Definitely we can just convert to editable poly over here, and let's just select this over here, and let's just give a UVW map. That's it. Alright. So right click and isolate this. So now it looks good. So if you look at it over here, so it's properly, we have unwrapped this stuff over here. You can see we have just unwrapped it and convert to editable poly over here. So definitely we are doing it slowly over here. Same with go with the tank part also. So if you want to just add again a texture on top of it, we can just go with that. So let's again go into the material over here, and let's take again a V-Ray material, go into the diffuse bitmap, and let's go back into the texture. We'll be mostly assigning the same kind of a material to it. So if you feel to add this material, you can go with this scratched material over here. So we have a scratched material. You can just add this good scratched material, and let's go into this UVW map, and let's give a cylinder to it. So in what axis you want this to be? X, Y, no, it's Z. Perfect. So it looks good, much better now. See this. So it looks good over here. So you can just go with that stuff again over here. We can go with this again and assign the same texture over here, and let's give a UVW map, and let's again take a cylinder, and you can fit that much better. So keep on saving the files. So you have to save your files again and again. So if you want to go with the texture for the tires, we don't need the name on the tires, but if you want to go with the texture part, you can go with the texture also, tire texture also. So you can take a rubber texture also, or if you want to unwrap it, you can go with the unwrapping part, not a problem. And before we go with that, we have a metal stuff over here that can be unwrapped if it is required over here. So if we go into this over here, and let's ungroup this area over here. So let's select this polygons over here, and I have an option over here. Whenever you're doing it, you have a grow and shrink option. You can just grow this selection over here. So I'm just growing this selection over here in this way. So what I'll be doing over here is like, I want this to be unwrapped over here. So I'll be definitely unwrapping this part. So before unwrapping this, I'll again take a unwrap UVW over here. I'll go into its polygons. Oh, that's great. So the polygons already selected over here. And if you look at it over here, what I'll be doing is like, I can do two things. I can just cut this part out, or else I'll just go into its planar projection in the y-axis, quick planar map, open UV editor. So as you can see, I have just projected this part out over here in this way. Better. Oops. So as you can see, I have just unwrapped this part over here. So rest of the part I have just left it as it is. Now what I want again over here is like, I'll be again selecting this, and If you have some grow selection, you can just grow this selection over here. Okay, what we'll do is like we'll go into this UV editor, we'll select this part, and uh, I'll go into this, press Ctrl I, that's your inverse selection, and I'll press Alt and I'll subtract this. So what, oops, I'll go into this view over here, I'll press Alt and I'll subtract this stuff. So once you go on subtracting this over here, you will see that the selection is going off. So now what we'll be doing is like make sure first you select this all these elements. Hope so you're not missing out anything over here. Select this all over here. After your selection is done, make sure you skip all this stuff over here. So please deselect all these elements over here. So make sure only that part is selected, nothing else. Alright, I think it's done. So now what we'll be doing is like again go into this planar and let's give a quick planar map. Open UV editor. So now we have this two stuff over here. Again go into this and just relax this. I think if relaxing is, that's fine. So rest of the part will just remove it out. So select this over here and let's just scale this and let's just push this up. Although this is a part which is going to be inside, I think still this is got selected. again quick planar map, open UV editor, tools, relax, anyways I think it's fine over here. Scale this and just keep it over here. Alright, so select the both the outputs over here, just put it in this way. Let's go into tools, render UV template, and let's render it again. So save it as tire rims over here, tire rims, UVs, and save it in JPG. That's it. Alright, so keep saving your file over here. So let's just end isolate this stuff over here. So save your file over here. So guys, if you have any doubts, please write it in the comment section over here. So please like and subscribe my YouTube channel, that's KO Tutorials. So we'll continue the rest of the part in the next tutorial. So thanks for watching this tutorial.